Hello, chefs.
Hello.
Hello.
You are here for our late night competition. The baskets will play to that theme, giving you foods that you might crave when you are hangry late at night. Get into your late night entree basket.
That's gonna be some fun, huh?
You've got a bowl of cereal.
Oh my God, what? Cereal?
Ooh, it had milk in it. Okay.
Mac and cheese,
Oh my God, mac and cheese, okay.
arugula, and pork belly.
Who doesn't love pork belly?
The 30-minute entree round starts now.
All right, let's go.
So, judges, what is your go-to late-night hangry food?
Rosé.
That's not food.
I would love like a BLT with this pork belly. Would be delicious.
And then grab some chorizo and make a chorizo aioli. Go double down on the pork.
If we had like $5 for every time Santos said, grab the chorizo in the kitchen, how rich do you think we'd be? Like rolling in it.
Pork belly's delicious. Chefs love pork belly. That's our go-to. I'm making chipotle lime glazed pork belly, with arugula tomatillo salsa, and midnight mac and cheese. I definitely want to get a nice spicy glaze on this pork belly. I'm tossing my pork belly with some sriracha. This screams hangry because it's going to help clean up any tequila shots, any beer, any kind of mess that you might have made throughout the day.
I'm looking at this pork belly. I think I want to grill it, but I want to marinate it first with the cereal milk and the cheese powder from the mac and cheese. But I think it needs some spice and get some gochujang. I add also apple cider vinegar because the acidity is gonna tie everything together. I know that I wanna add potatoes, so I immediately think of breakfast for dinner. So I'm gonna make a crispy potato hash with the pork belly, a fried egg, and arugula salad on the top.
This is not normal pasta. This is like an instant pasta for the mac and cheese. So it has chemicals in it that allow it to cook quickly and not overcook. This is a tricky pasta to cook.
As I saw the macaroni and cheese, you know, my kids love it. But to transform it into something that's not macaroni and cheese, it's a challenge. So I said, oh, I got it. I'm gonna take the dried macaroni itself, the cereal, and blend it to a powdered consistency and coat the pork belly and fry it. Right behind. So for my dish, I'm gonna make a sweet and spicy pork belly and arugula salad. Behind.
Jamar coated his pork belly with the cereal and the powder from the macaroni and cheese, and he deep fried it.
I think that could be a really smart move.
Can I also say you have arugula, also known as rocket, super peppery, a great ingredient to play with all of these other really rich, sweet ingredients.
I'm choosing to use the arugula as the black pepper in my tomatillo arugula sauce. I like that, it's got heat. My midnight mac and cheese, I'm choosing to add some Gruyere, some queso fresco, and try and lift this back into a more thicker type good mac and cheese. Starting to get it to thicken up exactly where I want it to. So now I'm adding cereal to see if it'll work with the mac and cheese.
I need to talk about this. Guys, there's mac and cheese in a pan with cereal and the cereal milk. Success or serial killer?
The cereal, I actually want to fry it to make croutons for small salad.
What the heck did I just see happen?
Is that some kind of crouton?
Yep, it's some kind of crouton, all right.
Crispy cereal crouton. We're seeing for the first time cereal being used as a crouton.
Right behind. Once I take the pork belly out of the fryer, I hit it with a bit of seasoning. Then I start to create a spicy sweet sauce with sriracha sauce, mirin, a little bit of maple syrup. So then I add this beautiful fried pork belly to this sweet and spicy glaze. As I'm cooking, I noticed that my dish needed some kind of like starch to soak up the sauce. I'm just gonna make, you know, Jay's potatoes.
Jamar might be heading in that barbecue-y direction. I see paprika, I see some cumin, I see some onion and garlic powder over on his station.
Jay's potatoes are a mixture of smoked paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, rosemary, and cilantro, and a whole bunch of butter.
Less than 5 minutes to go, chefs.
So time's ticking down. I've got to get this dish done. So I'm taking these big pieces of pork belly. I'm going to spread the sauce on the base of the plate so you can kind of scoop everything through.
Brian, you done or you good? What's going on?
I'm either done or I'm done. That's it.
Oh.
I think I've always been very competitive. I've always wanted to be the best one, and I think it feels very close.
Hilda's not quite done yet. She's still got that happy egg to add. 1 minute, chefs.
It's time for me to start plating. So I make a quick dressing for the arugula. I'm adding cilantro for just a little bit more flavor.
You gotta get those plates ready, chefs. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's
All right.
up.
Good job.
Chefs, the second round saw you cooking with a bowl of cereal, mac and cheese, arugula, and pork belly. Chef Hilda, tell us about your entree.
I prepared for you breakfast for dinner. So we have a crispy potato hash, and then I topped it off with a fried egg, and I finished it off with an arugula salad.
Well, I love breakfast for dinner. Beautiful plating, love the cook on the egg, really nice runny yolk. Cereal, croutons, well, I really didn't have high hopes for. I thought they were gonna be really soggy. Surprisingly, this cereal stayed crispy, and it's a miracle.
I can't stop eating these potatoes. They're so good, they're crispy, and I like the sauce with the potatoes. I don't think you needed to marinate the pork belly in it. I don't think it does it any favors, and I think grilling it was maybe not the best choice. With pork belly, you have this fat cap, and it's one of the things we love the most about pork belly, right? Like, so this guy here, if you grill it like this without searing it and letting that crispiness develop, we really miss out on that.
This sort of breakfast, you almost want it to be like a Benedict, you know? You would have made it one dish. Now I'm eating potatoes, then I try the crispy cereal, then I try the egg, then I try the arugula, then I go back and have some pork. It's not really a cohesive dish at this point, but again, as you always do, you cook with really good flavors.
Thank you very much.
Next up, Chef Brian.
I have a chipotle lime glazed pork belly with an arugula, tomatillo, and mint salsa with midnight mac and cheese.
I took one bite of the mac and cheese, and honestly, it doesn't work. The cereal is just not a good addition. It's just weird. But the rest of your dish is delicious. The way you treated the pork, cutting it into kebabs is bold. I love the salsa, the tomatillo, that spice, and I think this dish is something I would eat late night.
The tomatillo arugula salsa is really delicious on top, but I think the cut on the jalapenos is really rough. I got 2 bites of jalapeno. I love spice, and it was just, I couldn't taste the pork belly.
I like the arugula salsa. I got just the right amount of jalapenos, but the cereal doesn't work. I mean, it doesn't. You can't put cereal in boiling cheese and expect anything good to come out of it.
Chef Brian, what would a win here mean for you personally?
I've got a 16-day-old child.
Hold on, what?
I don't want to cry on TV.
Whatever, you're a new dad?
A 16-day-old girl named Bella and a 17-month-old son. I knew what it was like to be up late at night before, but now it's a whole different ballgame, and it's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful thing.
Next up, Chef Jamar.
In front of you is a sweet and spicy pork, what I call Jay's potatoes, and Marin and Dijon arugula salad.
So we have this pork belly that you cut into really large chunks, and then all of the basket ingredients except for the arugula are all on this pork belly. It's a risk. I think it's a risk that paid off. The pork belly is delicious. Taking like the pasta, taking the cereal, and coating that outside is just, it gave it like a little protection from the fryer before you fried it so that it kept everything really, really moist on the inside.
I mean, you really solved 2 puzzles, how to use the pasta, how to use the cereal. Spot on, you killed it. The arugula, to me, is a throwaway. You could have used it in a different way that would have just on top. It's nerves, and at the end, you're like, what do I do with this arugula?
Absolutely.
The potatoes are good. I think you could have used the cheese powder packet and just added that to your normal recipe for this, just to utilize the basket ingredient.
Why would winning here mean something to you, Chef?
Actually, I got two boys, one's 16 and one's 14. So, and they're rooting for me, so hopefully I can make them proud today.
It seems like you two gentlemen have some things in common.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, a little more downtime for you while the judges consider their options. Thank you, chefs.
I think Brian might be chuffed because the mac and cheese, it was something that the judges didn't really particularly enjoy.
What has me a little bit scared is the arugula. It felt like I just kind of like left it on to the side. With this competition, you really can't be too cocky.
Chef Hilda, you've been chopped. Judges?
Chef Hilda, the idea of breakfast for dinner when it's late night and you're hangry is so smart. Unfortunately, it was a lot of components that were separate without anything really bringing the dish together cohesively. And so we had to chop you.
Thank you very
Great to
much.
have you.
Thank you.
Good luck, Chef. Thank you. Chef Elise, Chef Lee, who's ready to burn the midnight oil in the chopped kitchen for 30 more minutes?
Me.
I'm ready to go.
All right, go ahead and open your final basket. And you must use a breakfast sandwich, fruit cereal, sour plums, and rum butter ice cream. Your 30 minutes starts now.
I have something to prove in this round because I know I'm a better cook than what I did in the first 2 rounds. I see a breakfast sandwich, and I think, no, it's a donut again. But then I realize candied bacon. I throw it into a hot skillet, dump brown sugar on top of it, and let the sugar crystallize around it. I'm making rainbow-dusted churros with candied bacon and a rum butter sour plum sauce. I think Chef Lee and I have very different styles, so anything I'm gonna do, he's not gonna do.
Bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches are one of my favorite things in the world, but not for dessert. Thankfully, I don't have to use every ingredient on this sandwich. Maple syrup. I take the bacon and I'm like, I can candy this and this will be perfect. As soon as I see the rum butter ice cream, I realize I could make a rum butter cake and use that in the batter. I feel like a lot of people would agree a midnight snack is cake and ice cream. So I'm making a vanilla butter rum cake with a fresh fruit salad, candied bacon, and a raspberry sherbet. I mix butter, heavy cream, and sugar in the stand mixer. Then I add flour and some of that rum butter ice cream. My cake is gonna take a while to cook, so I spread it thin on a sheet tray and put it right in the oven.
Judges, so sometimes after midnight, you're already starting to think about breakfast, and I think that's what this basket seems to be saying. You agree?
This is a late night breakfast gone awry. Just like all the other baskets we've had today, there's only one fresh element. Everything else is pre-prepared or pre-flavored. Cereal is cereal is cereal is cereal. What are you gonna change about it?
All right, chefs, you've got 20 minutes.
I blend the rainbow cereal so it resembles a cinnamon sugar that you would typically do on a churro. Well, my churros are super simple. I get milk, butter, up to a boil, throw in flour. That's gonna be really light and airy, nice and crispy on the outside, and then when you bite into it, it's kind of feel like a light funnel cake. At one of my supper club events, we made a variation of this dish, and it went over really well. I'm confident that the judges are gonna feel the same way.
My sherbet is super simple. Instead of using eggs and making custard, I decided to just put milk, cream, and some fresh raspberries into a blender and blend it up and put it right in the ice cream maker. I'm gonna get started on my sauce. I blended some strawberries, some sugar, some lime juice, and some of that rum. I really wanted that rum flavor to pop out, like a strawberry daiquiri.
Sour plums, they're extremely challenging. They need to have sugar introduced to them, temper down the bracing sourness of those plums.
Are those just unripe plums?
No, it's a type of plum, extensively used in India. You either make a jam out of it or preserve it in a really sugary syrup.
I'm cutting cutting up my sour plums, and these freaking things are rolling around. I'm nervous. I hit the pit of the plum and just slice off the top of my thumb. Just cut my finger.
Oh, no.
Elisa's just cut herself. Very frustrating as a chef to cut yourself in the dessert round.
Figures.
All right, you've got just 5 minutes to get this done.
I realized I cut myself. Not a big deal. You gotta keep cooking.
You good?
Yeah, totally.
It happens.
Elisa's is back in the kitchen. She's bandaged up, so everything's cool.
I start piping my churros. I am not gonna let a silly missing fingertip keep me down.
I take my cake out of the oven, and it looks perfect. I'm very happy with it. I use the ring mold to cut out the pieces of my cake.
There are only 2 minutes to get this done, chefs. And Elise's churros look done. I think she's gone ahead and made sort of just different, interesting shapes.
My sauce needs something to break it up, and I think mint. Mint's gonna brighten it. I just know it's gonna play well.
I just want some freshness on the plate, so I use the sour plums. They're not very sweet, so I decided to mix them in with some fresh oranges and throw some fresh jalapenos in there.
1 minute to go, folks.
I run back to my sherbet, I realize it's over churned, and I'm very disappointed with myself.
We're down to the final seconds of the final round, chefs. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Please step back.
I look over at Chef Lee's dish, and it looks scatterbrained.
For a guy who does not do desserts very often, I'm very proud of what I put on the plate.
Chef Elise's, Chef Lee, for dessert, you got a basket containing a breakfast sandwich, fruit cereal, sour plums, and rum butter ice cream. All right, Chef Elise's, could you please tell us what you made?
What I have for you is a rainbow-dusted churro with candied bacon, mint, and a rum butter sour plum sauce.
I like what you did with the bacon, and that you used that cereal as a sugar cinnamon. It's awesome. Churros is something I grew up with, and there's a certain density to them. These are super airy. Everything's golden brown, it's beautiful. I don't think they're necessarily churros, you know what I'm saying?
I really like the sauce, and I like the sort of brown butter, caramelized sugar feel to this.
I love the airiness. It's almost like a beignet. I wish that you'd use the sour plums in a better way. Maybe a quick pickle or something on the side. It would have just broken down the heaviness of really sweet.
Chef Elise's, thank you.
Thank you.
And finally, Chef Lee.
All right, chefs, I made a vanilla butter rum cake with a fresh fruit salad, candied bacon, and a raspberry sherbet.
I love the presentation. I mean, the whole plate to me looked like the fruit cereal. My favorite part of the dish is the cake, actually. I really like it. The strawberry sauce kind of blows it out because of the raw rum. So it really just tastes like you spilled a drink on here. They need to cook it a little bit.
Yeah.
I think you could have worked on the execution here. This texture is way off here. Just, in essence, frozen milk. That, for me, is a hard thing to kind of get through.
It seems like you came up with this idea, and then you came up with this idea. You just put it on the plate. It's just not coming together as a dish.
So, whose dish is on the chopping block? Chef Elise's, you've been chopped. Judges?
Chef Elise's, if this was based solely on dessert, you would have won. But we had to compare 3 dishes. In the first round, the buttered and toasted donut in its entirety was a lot, unfortunately. In the second round, adding the rice to the falafel made it way too dense. And so we had to chop you.
Thank you, chefs.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Chef Catherine, Chef Mark, will we see your strongest effort yet in the final round?
You bet you will.
Definitely.
Outstanding. Please open these dessert baskets. And we have fruit ring cereal, molasses, cherries, and sesame candy.
Sesame candy is like what you eat when you go to your grandmother's house. Like old lady candies that it's probably from the 20s.
30 minutes to get your dessert on. Time starts now.
I grew up eating cereal like this as a kid. Sugary cereal Saturday morning. And my favorite part was drinking the milk at the end. So I'm making cereal milk panna cotta with a sesame granola. My cereal milk panna cotta comes to a simmer, and then I add gelatin. I gotta get my panna cotta in the blast chiller so it can set. Making panna cotta in shop kitchens is super risk. I've watched the show enough to know that there's plenty of times panna cotta doesn't set, and then you end up serving the judges a bowl of mush. And there's no way I'm gonna win chopped with that.
So, judges, beautiful, plump, fresh cherries, and then this sugar bomb of a cereal.
But this whole basket is very, very sweet, even for a dessert. You have the molasses, which is what's left over from making sugar, and then you have the sesame candy, which is super sweet.
Thank goodness for the cherries.
A little bit of freshness, a little bit of tartness.
I'm a pie girl, yeah. I love pie. I taste the fruit ring cereal, and it's really sweet. So I decided to use that as my sugar for the cherries. So I'm making a cherry and cereal pie with molasses caramel. For the pie crust, I throw the flour, butter, and salt into the food processor, and then I add a little bit of water to keep it all together. I've encountered a lot of tough things in the fire department, but in the restaurant, it's a different set of situations, it's a different approach. But the one thing that's common is I want to succeed. I have that mindset. If I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to make it happen, then I make it happen.
All right, chefs, 15 minutes to go.
At my restaurant, we make a lot of granola. And sesame candy is really sweet, so I'm adding some walnuts, a little bit of quinoa, and some pine nuts. I put the granola in the oven. I'm definitely feeling the pressure as far as time goes. It's time to start with the cherries. I'm doing cherries two ways: caramelized cherries and a yogurt cherry foam. Take some of the cherries, saute them with some molasses, butter, and cognac. When I decided to become a chef, my parents were not super happy. Even my guidance counselor was like, this is the worst thing that you could do. Definitely set a little fire in me, trying to prove them wrong. And over time, as I had more success, yeah, they definitely are more keen on the idea.
I'm working on my molasses caramel sauce. I add some butter to it. And once it starts to bubble up, I add some heavy cream. I was gonna make a pie, but I'm looking at this right now. There's just not enough time. So I decide I'm gonna have to just make some kind of a hand pie. They're not pretty, but they're functional.
All right, folks, you've got 10 minutes to finish here.
Check out my granola. It feels tacky, but I don't have enough time to fix the issue, so I just have to kind of roll with it.
Okay, what am I doing with you?
Jeffrey, what about the sesame candy? I think you're very familiar with that.
I am. Middle Eastern, it's great. It's sort of devious because it's so good. You can't stop eating it once you start.
Oh, geez. Sesame candies are not something that I'm really thrilled with. They're not quite brittle because they're not hard. You know, they're still soft and chewy. I grind that up into a powder, and I sprinkle it on top of my pies. I should put something else on this plate. So I'm making whipped cream.
Okay, chefs, you've got 5 minutes to wrap this up.
I put the cherries in the blender with molasses and yogurt and blitz it all together. And then I put it into an ISI siphon container to make a foam. I pulled the panna cottas out of the blast chiller. It looked like it jiggled really nicely, but it could have been the top portion set and the bottom's not. So my main concern is is it set?
I can tell that my pie crust isn't where it needs to be. The edges are okay, but the center is still not ready. But I don't have the time. It is what it is.
1 minute, chefs.
I'm having issues with this ISI canister.
Mom looks like he's having some trouble with the gun.
Oh, no.
30 seconds, folks. Maybe you're wishing for some extra time, chefs, but I'm afraid that's not how it works. We're down to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Please step back.
If it cooked through, it would have been a terrific crust. But I'm just hoping that, that it's received well by the judges.
At this point, my dessert is definitely the weakest link, so I'm not sure what to think. I definitely feel like I won the appetizer and the entree round, but this dessert might lose my lead.
Chef Catherine and Chef Mark, you've made 3 dishes, the last of them containing fruit ring cereal, molasses, cherries, and sesame candy. Let's see what you made, Chef Catherine.
I've made for you a cherry and cereal hand pie with a molasses caramel sauce and fresh whipped cream.
The flavors are just amazing together. I personally love your sauce. I love the bitterness, and you've really just rounded out that molasses flavor with the cherries inside the pie.
Yeah, I devoured the inside. It really has a hand pie feel. It feels like a cherry pocket.
The filling is delicious, but I think you know what the problem is, though, with this dish, right?
My crust, yes. I needed a little more time.
It did need 10 more minutes, but the inside was delicious, and the caramel is so, deep and rich.
Thanks. Thank you, chefs.
Thank you, Chef Catherine. And now, Chef Mark.
Today, for you, I prepared a cereal milk panna cotta with a sesame granola.
Now and then, we get people attempting a panna cotta, and it almost never sets. It looks as if yours may have.
It did?
I've watched Chopped enough to know that panna cotta does bring down a lot of contestants.
So you wanted to just
I just wanted to go for
risk it all?
Yeah.
You did a good job in just the right amount of gelatin. Nothing worse than when you get a panna cotta in a restaurant and it's super firm. The Greek yogurt and cherry foam was really nice, but the granola fell flat for me. And everything that you put in there, I think the flavors were just kind of muddled.
It's a little clunky and kind of gets, here I am, crumble, It's like a bit too barbaric on top of this delicate cherry dessert.
Wow. This should have been just a little sprinkle on top for a crunch. It would have been a much better result.
So, whose dish is on the chopping block? Chef Catherine, you've been chopped. Judges?
Catherine, you really impressed us, but today you just got cooked just a little bit.
Right.
The second course, the nudie with the squid ink, lacked in flavor, and it really brought the dish down. The third course, the dough wasn't cooked, and those are the reasons why we had to chop you today.
No worries. Thank you very much. Thank you, chefs. I'm just grateful. I have nothing else to say but that.
Well, thank you.
And thank you. I'm still not going to give up. I'm not going to change anything about who I am and what I do and how I do it. He may be a San Francisco guy, but I'm a New York gal, and we're we're nothing to mess with. We're tough gals.
And that means, Chef Mark Lieberman, that you are the chopped champion and that $10,000 prize is going into your pocket. Congratulations.